Hi everyone, welcome to Ken Song. Today we start here with the second chapter of the 10th grade Acid, Bases and Salt. As the CBSE syllabus has been rewritten this year, you will know that the first lesson has been excluded. So we start with the second lesson. However, after the lesson in the syllabus, the first lesson will be presented later. So, once again, I am inviting to Chemistry. What is the first thing that comes in your mind when you are seeing these things? You all may be thinking about this taste. The lemon is and sour in taste. The bitter berry is and bitter in taste. Sugar is sweet and salt is salty. So, we generally associate these things with their taste. So years back, Greek scientists, they classified the different substances according to their taste. And after the classification, he found that all sour tasting substances, they showed a similar chemical property. And such a substance is named as acids. And it is coming from the Latin word that is acidus. It means sour. And some naturally occurring compounds which contain acids are vinegar, citrus fruits, tomatoes, grapes, etc. And secondly, they found that all bitter tasting substances, they show the similar chemical property. And such a substance they named as bases. For example, oil, soap, baking soda, etc. So, commonly the substances divided into two, that is acids and bases. And acid and bases, it have an important role in our day-to-day life. Let us discuss the properties of acid and base. Move to the first topic, that is properties of acid. Okay, the first property is all acids have sour in taste. Okay, the first property, all acids are sour in taste. And second property, all acids are soluble in water. All acids are soluble in water. And when the acids are soluble in water, when the acids are dissolved in water, it produces H plus ions. For example, hydrochloric acid. It is here. Okay, when it dissolved in water, okay, hydrochloric acid, when it dissolved in water, it produces H plus ions and Cl minus ions. Okay, all the acids when dissolved in water, it produces H plus ions, that is means hydrochloric acid. For example, hydrochloric acid, it dissolved in water, it produces H plus ions and Cl minus ions. And these H plus ions, it cannot exist alone. So, it mixes with the water. H plus ions, it cannot exist alone. So, it mixes with the water. It will produce H3O plus ions and Cl minus. Okay, the H plus ions, it cannot exist alone. So, it mixes with the water. Otherwise, it combines with the water to produce H3O plus ions. Okay, and Cl minus. And this H3O plus ions is called hydronium ions. The presence of this H3O plus ions, we can say HCl is an acid. Third property, all acids are good conductor of electricity. When these acids are dissolved in water, it produces ions. The presence of these ions, it conducts electricity. And the fourth one, all acid turns blue litmus to red color. Okay, all acid turns blue litmus paper to red. And what do you mean by the term litmus? Okay, it is a natural indicator. Okay, it's a special type of substance are used to test whether a substance is acidic or basic. And it is shown the different color in acid medium and the base medium. And the fifth property, all acid turns methyl orange to red. Okay, all acid turns methyl orange to red color. And this methyl orange means it is a synthetic indicator. Okay, it helps us to tell the substance which is acid and which one is the base. And sixth property, acids have no effect on phenolphthalein. Okay, acids have no effect on phenolphthalein. Okay, phenolphthalein also a natural indicator. It helps us to identify the substance acid and base. And the last property, all acids are corrosive in nature. Okay, all the acids are corrosive in nature. Let us see the properties of acid once again. The first one, all acids are sour in taste. And the second one, they are soluble in water. When the acids are dissolved in water, it produces H plus ions. And third one, they are a good conductor of electricity. And the fourth one, all acids are turns blue litmus paper to red color. And the fifth one, all acids it turns methyl orange to red color. And sixth one, they have no effect on phenolphthalein. And the last one are corrosive in nature. And the second topic, the properties of bases. The first property, all bases are bitter in taste. Okay? All bases have bitter in taste. And the second property, all bases may or may not be soluble in water. Okay? All bases may or may not be soluble in water. When the bases are dissolved in water, it produces OH minus ions. For example, sodium hydroxide. When it dissolves in water, it produces two ions, that is Na plus ions and OH minus ions. Okay, and this OH minus ions is named as an hydroxide. Okay, so all bases may or may not be soluble in water. That is, NaOH is soluble in water, it produces Na plus ions, that is OH minus ions. And this OH minus ions is named as an hydroxide. And the third property, all bases conduct electricity. That is, when the bases are dissolved in water, it produces ions. And the presence of that ions, it conducts electricity. And the fourth one, all bases, it turns red litmus paper to blue. Okay, it turns red litmus paper to blue. And you have already learned about this litmus paper. Okay, it is a natural indicator and it helps us to whether test the substance it is an acid or base. Okay, so bases it turns red litmus paper to blue. And the fifth property, all bases it turns methyl orange to yellow color. Okay, all bases it turns methyl orange to yellow color. And methyl orange is a synthetic indicator. And sixth one, all bases it give pink color in phenolphthalein. Okay, all bases it give pink color in phenolphthalein. It give pink color in phenolphthalein. So these two are the synthetic indicator. It helps us to test whether the substance acid or base. Okay, and the last property, all bases are corrosive in nature. Okay, all bases are corrosive in nature. Let us see the properties of base once again. The first property, all bases are bitter in taste. And second one, bases may or may not be soluble in water. And these bases are soluble in water, it produces OH minus ions. And this OH minus ions is called hydroxide. And the third one, it conducts electricity. And the fourth one, all bases, it turns red litmus paper to blue color. And fifth one, the methyl orange, it gives the yellow color. And sixth one, in bases, it gives pink color in the phenolphthalein medium. And the seventh one, all bases are corrosive in nature. Bye for now and wait for the next part.